I'm Louise, and I've been holistic health coach for more than 20 years, and I have very wide variety of modalities that I've worked with, and they've all been great. I'm also a program coordinator with the self-management program at UVic, and right now I'm so excited to say that we've even put more programs on for people who are social distancing and staying in their homes. And the workshops that we do in self-management, we do for people with chronic conditions, and chronic pain is one of them. So pain is something that everyone experiences at one time or other in their life. I am so excited to share this with you. Now, people say, why are you so excited about pain? Well, it's not so much that I'm excited about the pain. I'm excited to share with you what essential oils does about the pain. I myself have had pain, chronic pain, and since I was 11 years old. And so I've tried many things, and I had a bad bout a couple of years ago and met up with a friend of mine for a visit, and I was in a lot of pain with my shoulder, and she said, oh, here, just try this, which was some deep blue. And I tell you, what was that? Because as we were talking, within minutes I could feel the pain going away. And I had been trying all kinds of other things, and we'll talk more about medication in a little while. But yeah, I guess that's about all I want to say about me. So if you could just get a piece of paper and a pen, or write in actually it would be better if you put it in the chat list, or if you're on Facebook in the comments, what are 3 of your top health concerns? And what we're hoping is that we'll be able to answer all of those concerns, or at least provide some essential oils or tools that will help you with those concerns by the end of our talk today. Yeah. So here we have this chronic pain symptom cycle, and you'll notice that it is a cycle. It goes quite often when you have chronic pain. There's, you know, a lot of stress and anxiety, and especially with the world today, that seems to be quite rampant. And with that stress and anxiety, there's a lot of ineffective breathing, and you'll see we hold ourselves tight, and then our muscles get tight, and then the muscles get tense, and then we get exhausted because we're not sleeping, and it definitely affects emotions. So chronic pain it hits on all levels. It affects us physically, emotionally, spiritually. Sometimes we just cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. So this is, you know, it just goes around and around and around. And what we want to do with the essential oils is actually break that cycle. Because if that cycle is broken, and we'll talk more about the different essential oils that can help you do that. If you can get a better sleep at night, for example, my go-to at night, if I am having a restless sleep, is serenity. And if I can get a better sleep, I feel better. My emotions are better the next day. There's a little bit less anxiety, but if that doesn't work, we have something that I find very useful for anxiety, ineffective breathing. Ineffective breathing, well, we just did that with the peppermint that Sarah was talking about. And when you breathe it in, how it opens it up. So there's quite a bit of help here, and it's the best toolbox I have. Medicine cabinet is filled with oils that I love. So that's why I'm excited to be here and talking about pain. So we can. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, if you can just take a moment, and if you can see there's chronic pain, emotional pain, and occasional pain. Occasional pain would be something like acute pain or something that's not chronic, but once in a while you might get a headache. Or if it's an acute, like a cut, you've hurt your finger and you've, or sometimes even had a bad fall and feel bruised, but it's not one of those things, and you'll use your oil and you'll feel better. Whereas the chronic pain is something that lasts more than 6 months, or even 3 months, if something is just going on, and your healthcare providers are sending you for tests, and there just seems to be a lot of communication in the healthcare system with your healthcare providers trying to figure out what is causing this chronic pain. This is something that we often have to learn to live with, and sometimes we need surgery. Sometimes it's just something that we learn to try different things to make ourselves feel better. And emotional pain is very, very real, and it's something that's really affects us both with the occasional pain and with the chronic pain. So if you can just take a moment, because it would be really good if you can just rate your pain in the following categories.
Louise, while they're doing that, I just want to let you know that we've had a couple comments about top concerns, and they include stress, aches in hands from maybe arthritis, ACL repair, headaches, and back pain and mental health.
Okay.
Just to keep that on your radar as we go through the.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'm just going to mark some of those things down because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, I've made a list, so if you need,
okay,
need
okay,
it in,
great.
let me know.
Okay, great. Okay, so I just want to talk a bit about medication. So with the medication that we are, sometimes prescribed for pain, so very often creates a whole lot of other symptoms that we need to deal with. Sometimes you'll be prescribed something that causes constipation, that causes sleepiness, drowsiness. It doesn't really help the pain so much, or sometimes it creates other pain. So the pain medication, especially recently with the opioid crisis that's gone all through the world, is very, very difficult for people to come off of those medications. And quite often, there's not much they can do for the coming down and all the symptoms that comes with the detoxification. But with the essential oils that we're going to talk about, what's really beautiful, and that's the difference between the modern medicine, the modern approach that we would talk about here. It's designed to manage the symptoms, and it's made from isolated synthetic agents. Whereas the natural approach, of course, is it addresses the body's needs and the root causes. And very often, if you're taking an oil and bringing it into, either topically or aroma or internally, what it does is it's not just the physical pain. Quite often it'll help with the emotional pain. It's sort of more holistic is what I'd like to say. So the side effects, known and unknown, are really sometimes quite serious. And here we have 6.5 trillion years spent on global healthcare. That's a lot of money compared to what we can put, like what Sarah was saying about the financial difference between other things through the healthcare as opposed to the oils. And at the end, I like to think of the medication as a Band-Aid. Okay, the modern approach is they put a Band-Aid on the situation, whereas essential oils, I have found with myself and with my clients, is that the essential oils fix, and it's almost like an onion, and the layer has been peeled off and a whole new way of being becomes, and there's not just that okay, now back to the pain kind of thing. It's like, what pain? And you're so much better, easier to get on with life, I'd like to say, and have a happier and healthier life.
Yeah,
So you have the choice. Yeah.
yeah, I like that, Louise. And I just wanted to say that it's so nice when we think of essential oils as having only side benefits. You know, like you were talking about, you know, you might have a prescription for something that gives you constipation, where when you use the essential oil for the constipation, you might get a side benefit from it of relieving joint pain or stomach pain,
Absolutely.
or
That's true.
or uplifting your mood at the same time. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Slide.
So here I call this fundamental support. I would highly suggest that everybody start their plan and start their day with this a lifelong vitality pack. I must say I loved the oils, and I went a couple of months or maybe even a little bit longer taking oils and just absolutely loved them. And then I noticed there was a good option to buy this vitality pack, and it became one of the benefits. And so I said, hey, why not? And I tried it, and I took it for a month, and well, a little bit longer for sure, until they ran out. And I didn't get another pack right away, and almost a month had gone by, and I did not have that vitality that I had. And I think this is so well named. It's that, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you go, all right, like this is going to be a good day. I wasn't getting that. It was like, oh, okay. And it took me a little longer to wake up and a little stiffer. And so I love this combination. And what I find for myself, it's like the soil. Once I started taking this vitality pack, and it's so inclusive of every part, every system in our body, hormonal, heart health. It's just amazing. And once I started taking them regularly, I noticed that all the other oils that I was using were quicker, faster, they connected. So it was almost like, I like the analogy, it's the soil of our system. It's our foundation. And when we're adding the oils, it's like our garden. Everybody's gardening now, it seems. And you know, when you're planting your new plants, you want to plant them in some good soil. So these oils, when you're using the vitality pack and the oils, it's great. It's just really complete, I guess is what I would, and holistic is what I'd like to say about that.
I had a
Yeah.
really similar experience with a lifelong vitality pack. When I started taking it, I almost immediately noticed a change in my mood.
Yeah.
Within a couple weeks of taking it, I was like, I just don't feel as up and down as I normally am. This is amazing. And
Yeah.
then I stopped taking it, and that month I was just so sluggish. I was just like, wow, it's like you don't realize how much vitality it gives you until you stop taking it, and then you notice, gosh, was I really this bad before?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And you know, when we look at this little pyramid here, when we look, okay, we eat right, and it's great, and the exercise and the weight manage is important, and you know, rest and like what we've talked about, managing our stress and reducing our toxin. But what I also found is, because of all of that, what's in this magical pack is inflammation. There was, because there, you know, inflammation is a process where it's trying to protect our body and it goes crazy. But some conditions, what happens is the inflammation is the chronic condition, and that's what's causing the pain. But I found with this vitality pack that the inflammation was down and my pain levels were down as well. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about chronic pain and emotional pain and occasional pain. But now I want to talk about how this this Vitality Pack supports that. So the chronic pain, it provides healthier response to oxidative stress, supports bone health with calcium, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D, and supports healthy joint function and comfort. In all the work I've done in all the many years, I must say that is right there is the probably, I'd say way up in the 80% of people with chronic pain. It's in our joints, it's in our hands, it's in our back, it's the arthritis, it's the, toxic overload kind of just weighing us down. And those are all the things exactly that our body needs to deal with that. The emotional pain, it helps support mental clarity and brain function. That brain fog is like, have you ever walked into a room and you forget why you're there? I notice that I don't do that as much when I'm taking my vitamins. It provides a wide range of omega-3 and fatty acids for our gut and our cognitive support. I've done a lot of reading lately about our gut health, and that's so connected to our emotions. Like, how many times have people said, so what does your gut feeling say? So that's the connection between our emotions, our mental, and our gut. So protects against lipid oxidation and supports healthy function of the brain, eyes, and nervous system. Now, occasional pain, when you get that bump or that, you've been running too much and you ache and pain, and the knees, like the diagram shows, provides powerful foundational support of vital minerals and vitamins to keep your body performing at peak performance. Optimal nutrition, and it protects your body and speeds recovery. So it's really good for people also who like joggers, that like to run, that like to work, or even, just everyday gardening, for example, doing a lot more. It really helps. So this Vitality Pack has got everything that you need in there to make yourself feel a lot better, I must say. I don't go without it now.
Me neither.
No,
I just wanted to
no.
mention that in the eoLIFE, we just started a 30-day lifelong Vitality Pack challenge. And if you want to recommit to the habit of taking them or get started with a habit of taking them, then you can join our challenge. It's a great way to just get some accountability and learn more about the products. Also, I think it might be on the next slide. Yes. But also just to mention that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So when you try Lifelong Vitality for the first time, and if you tried it for the month and you go, you know what, I didn't notice anything different, which firstly, I think, I don't know who that happens to, which is obviously why they have this money-back guarantee. But if it did happen to you, then you could send the empty box back to doTERRA and they would refund you your money.
That's great. Great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that we covered that as well if we want to move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's some of the sample packs that you can do. The joint pain. These are 3 absolute must remedies that I live with. I call them remedies because they work, but these are the oils. Turmeric, so good for the inflammation. It really, really helps. And like Sarah was saying, you'd have to eat a lot of turmeric to get what this turmeric capsule. I think this is the capsules. You can also get the oils, but the capsules, I'm telling you, you have to eat so much turmeric that, well, you couldn't sit down and eat that much, but there it is, right? All the goods right in this little capsule, right? Deep blue cream. I tell you, I've got one in my bag, goes with me wherever I go. It's beside my bed for when I wake up in the morning if I'm kind of stiff, gets me going. And then you've got the deep blue capsules as well. Yeah, so those are excellent for joint pain. I think I had mentioned that about arthritis, and it's a must. Yeah. Muscle pain. These are good again with turmeric, of course, for the inflammation, because our body gets inflamed when it's in pain. And then the deep blue, but also here the marjoram is good. And the copaiba, am I saying that right? French and English, I get a little mixed up sometimes.
Everybody says it a bit differently, I think, but I say copaiba.
Copaiba, copaiba, that's it, right, got it. Okay, now that stuff is, oh, amazing, absolutely amazing. I had a friend staying over with her husband, and I noticed he was really stiff, and I said, oh, I think I've got something for you. And I made a little roll-on for him of the copaiba oil and just a little bit of peppermint to warm up, whatever. And he was like so shocked because he was such a, oh, he didn't really think it was going to do anything and whatever. I'll try your woo-woo stuff, he says. He tried that, and I'm not kidding. Within 10 minutes, he was saying, I can't believe it. I don't feel that stiffness anymore. So yeah, he was sold on it. I also read there was some research too with the copaiba, that there was research with the CBD and the copaiba, and with the pain, you know, the receptors on our pain, little things that go around, and copaiba was so much more effective. So, you know, I'm sold on that stuff. But muscle pain, it really helps just relax that pain, takes down the inflammation, and away you go. You're good as new. Emotional pain. Okay. Elevation. It's really just exactly what it says. I put it in my diffuser, and it just lifts up the mood. And frankincense, king of all oils, is also good for inflammation, I must say, but it's also really good for the emotional pain as well. The adaptive combination here, I can't say enough about it. I can't say enough about all these oils. I can just go on and on. But this adaptive is amazing. It helps with all kinds of trauma. I've had people find that it really helped when they were withdrawing from the pain medication, when they were getting the really, you know, scared and agitated, and the adaptive just helped them calm down and be okay. I'm going to be okay, they'd say. And grieving, that emotional grieving that happens with the loss, and as we're realizing now what the world is living with, we've lost the way things were, and so that's a kind of grieving as well. So adaptive is definitely on my menu every day, and has been for the last little while with all that's going on. But yeah,
Sorry,
I
I was just
can't.
going to say, I
Yeah.
think that one of the things that often goes along with chronic pain is just the grieving of not being able to do what you think you should be able to do, which,
Oh my gosh, oh yeah, when I ask people, that's probably one of the number one things. The other thing too, I want to just really emphasize that all of these um, groups that we're talking about is is like additional to the vitality pack, right? If you got the vitality pack and some of these oil, they're so helpful.
Mhm.
Don't forget the soil.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love the elevation. I start every day with a drop of elevation on
Yeah.
the bottoms of my feet along with balance. And that just seems to really help boost my mood and keep me feeling stress free.
Yeah.
Um, and the frankincense, I'm a family therapist, and I use the frankincense a lot in the diffuser in my office because it really helps with helping people move out of a stuck mood.
So
So
true.
yeah, right. So it's a great oil to use for that aromatic benefits, but it's great topically as well for inflammation, like Louise was saying. And it's one of the oils that can get into like the deep recesses of our brain and deep into our cellular, where sometimes emotions get stuck, right? And so when we're able to use the frankincense, we're able to get ourselves out of that stuck. And I think that often the clients that I see who are dealing with chronic pain often feel stuck in a mood set, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so when we're able to help them with the frankincense and the adaptive and elevation, it really does make a huge difference for emotional well-being.
So true. So true. Oh, yes. And the digestive pain, very much, especially when you have side effects from the other medication, which, can happen. But also, too, there's a lot of different chronic conditions, but also, just upset stomachs. It's really great to have these things on, like the peppermint little beadlets. I've got them in my bag. And if I get a little bit upset, I don't always have something, with me. And one day I had these little peppermint and I thought, oh, I'm going to try one of those. Holy cow, it worked. Really helped. And the Digest Zen is something that I take probably out of a month. I'd have to say 3/4 of the month, because I get so busy sometimes. I eat on the run, which is not good. And then I get all this pain and bloating and yeah, no, this stuff is amazing. The PB Assist
Mm-hmm.
is great
It
probiotic,
has
right?
to be the best probiotic on the market
It
today.
is.
And
Uh-huh.
as I was saying, as a family therapist, gut health is so important for your emotional health, your mental health. That brain gut connection is there. It's real. And
Yes.
over 90% of your serotonin, that feel good hormone, that the hormone that makes us feel happiness, that is made in your gut. So when you're not working well, when you're having when it's not flourishing the way that it should be, then it often affects your mood. And so the PB Assist is something that I recommend to almost all of my clients.
Yeah.
I take it daily, and I have my family take it daily as well. It's
Yeah.
really amazing what it can do for mood and for gut health.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take it daily now too, instead of just when I have that pain. Yeah.
Yeah, the Terrazyme, I take that with at least 2 meals a day, because it just helps. I tried to take the Terrazyme. I got this hint from Laura Jacobs a few weeks ago in one of her talks. She said that she was taking Terrazyme on an empty stomach when she first wakes up in the morning. And I've been doing that, and it seems to be really shifting things for my gut health. And so it just helps. It helps kind of process all the stuff that's stuck in your gut system, and helps break down any of the food that we're eating. So it's especially important if we're eating processed foods, or really hard to break down foods. Then it can be really helpful with those meals. But like, as you said, when you eat out and you're feeling that bloatedness, I take a couple then.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
The Digest Zen, one of my favorite ways to use that is in a cup of tea. And so I'll just boil some hot water, and then use 1 drop of Digest Zen in a teaspoon of honey and mix that into the hot water. And it tastes so nice, and it's so soothing to an
Yeah.
upset stomach.
Yeah.
Mm.
Great. Head tension and migraines. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That sometimes can be caused for many, many reasons. Maybe not drinking enough water, whatever, but quite often it's hormonal. And these remedies are amazing for that tension. Of course, the deep blue, and to help the muscles relax, especially around the neck. That might help. Drinking lots of water, but excellent, excellent. Eucalyptus, past tense. I put it right here on the back. And I don't wait. That's one thing about pain. Don't let pain dictate when you're going to take something. Like when you feel something coming on or just not feeling right. I mean, there's many of these remedies that you can take ongoing all the time to help prevent it from coming. But if you should start to feel a headache coming on, don't wait. Don't wait to see, oh, I wonder if it's going to go away. Use something right away so that it doesn't come, it doesn't get into any you know, occasional pain, like into the acute pain.
Mhm.
So I find eucalyptus with our sinuses, you know, when sometimes if we have something coming on and we're stuffed up in our sinuses, that really affects the headaches. And so it's amazing,
Yeah.
the eucalyptus for that. Past tense, though, is just amazing. I put it in behind my ears here a little bit, and it not only helps with any sort of tension that's going on or migraine, but it also helps me just my muscles relax. The whole, even my emotion, it's so multi-layered, these oils. It's amazing. And the frankincense, of course, to help, you know, the inflammation or the tension again, and copaiba for pain. Copaiba. Did I say it right?
Yeah, I think so. That's how I say it.
Yay.
um, I think that the headaches and migraines is a really good example of how pain is and symptoms are caused differently for each person, right? And
Yes.
the oils that we use might need to be different for each of us. So for instance, I get migraines, but I get hormone migraines. So I get them once a month when I get my menstrual cycle. And I find that these oils can help me, but they don't help prevent the migraine from coming. Where when I use Clary Calm daily throughout the month to balance my hormones, I don't get a headache at all. I don't get any migraine at all during my menstrual cycle. So, you know, for me, I tried the frankincense, I tried the deep blue, I tried the past tense, and it would help during the migraine itself to reduce the pain that I was feeling, but it wouldn't get rid of it completely. When I figured out that it was a hormonal based and I tried the Clary Calm, then it got rid of it completely. So what I'm saying is that sometimes what we need to do is just play around a bit with what oils we're using to figure out which one's going to work best for our bodies and
Yes.
our unique reason for having whatever it is that we have, the pain, the inflammation, the headache, the joint pain, muscles, whatever it is, right? Sometimes it just takes a little bit of playing around. So at
So
first,
true.
if you try something and it doesn't work the way that you're hoping for, make sure you're going back to the person who gave you the sample or whoever your oil support person is so that they can help you find another oil that might work better for you.
That's so true. That's so true. I'm glad you mentioned Clary Calm, because Clary Calm is so good for, like, I don't know if we're going to get into any depth with it, but Clary Calm is like, you know, that midlife thing that women, even men go through it actually. But that Clary Calm, oh my gosh, it helps the pain so much.
I have
So
a
much
whole
helps it
nother
balance. Yeah,
have a whole nother class on hormones, on women's health.
that's excellent.
Where we'll cover it all.
They're perfect.
All right. So we did talk about all these different options for your wellness box. If you're on the loyalty rewards program, you already have a wholesale membership with doTERRA, then these are great ways to fill up your monthly wellness box. And again, start off with your foundation of the lifelong vitality and then add in the other supplements or products or oils that can be helpful for you and what you're trying to work with. Did you have any other oils that you wanted to add in there, Louise, that
Um,
you said we didn't talk too much about sleep, but that could be a good point you mentioned earlier with the
yeah.
serenity.
Well, the sleep, I find the serenity really helps, and lavender really helps. I must say too, lavender is amazing for if you burn yourself.
Mhm.
I was putting another log on the fire and went too far into the wood stove, and there was a burn on my hand, quite, you know, and it started to blister almost right before my eyes. And right away, there was lavender in the kitchen. I put lavender right away. And right before I'm not kidding, there was not even a red mark, anything within a half an hour. It was gone. And so definitely have that in your medicine cabinet.
Your first aid kit for acute pain, huh?
Yeah,
Also,
very good.
I read some studies that said that lavender, just smelling lavender can help reduce pain.
Yeah, and emotions too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really helps. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one to have on hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to take you back to the beginning of the presentation when Louise asked you to write down some of your top health concerns and see if we've hit the mark. Did you hear anything throughout the presentation that could be the recommended protocols for whatever health concerns you're dealing with? We did talk about headaches and muscle and joint pain and some sleep and some emotional wellness. If you're still feeling like we didn't hit the mark and you're not sure what protocols or you don't remember, please reach out to your oily support person. Text them right now. Let them know that you're on this call with us tonight and that you are interested in finding some more oils or products that could help you with your specific health concerns. And as well, we're going to stick around when we're finished this presentation for some Q&A. So Louise will be staying with us and have some time to answer your individual questions. So please stick with us. Okay, so also I want to remind you to go ahead and click on that link that's in the chat box on Zoom or in the comments on Facebook so that you do not miss out on our weekly giveaway, which is that digital bonus. We're going to email you with some information from tonight's presentation that includes recipes and more ideas for working with your pain and essential oils.